extension cord. So I can run into that one.
Is provided by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com.
Check out Night Dream's website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com.
Hey, this is Gary from Night Dreams Talk Radio. I want to welcome a new sponsor to our show, phonex-shaving.com. I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, another disposable razor company. Well, the fact is they're not. You remember the razors that your father and his father shaved with? Did you ever notice they didn't have, well, the embarrassing razor burn or ingrown hairs or the razor bumps after they shaved? Did you notice they were also relaxed after they were done shaving? Well, the problem is these big corporations want to sell you razor after razor after razor. Think about how much money you spend a year on razors. Or do you use electric razor? Then you're going to find out what razor burn is. So you need to check out Phoenix Shaving Starter Kits. They come complete with the soap, the brush, and a 2.5-month supply of blades. And the most important part of it, an all-metal razor built to last generations. So, hey, you can donate it to one of your sons when they turn 18. Check out phonex-shaving.com and tell them that Gary from Night Dream said, hey, I want one. That's phonex-shaving.com now.
You're listening to Night Dreams Radio with Gary Anderson.
Hey, that is me. Well, in Gig Harbor today, the weather hit in the mid-80s. Boy, I tell you, I just wish I was able to get on my motorcycle today and been able to go for a ride, but got to see the doctor tomorrow and see what's going on before I can get back riding. Hey, tonight, we're going to be talking about UFOs. I got a great guest on, Douglas. He is the answer man when it comes to anything from UFOs to world events to shaving. Douglas has it all for you. Hey, Douglas, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me, Gary?
Oh, I can hear you. Great.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. I'm wearing my headphones right now. So if I pick up some wind, let me know. I'm on my back porch right now. I got candles lit, and I'm getting in the mood.
Okay. Do you have a glass of wine there?
I don't have a glass of wine, but I do have a glass of tea. So I think that'll work. Not the same as wine. I don't know if we want to go that route tonight.
Well, it might make it more interesting. I don't know. But,
that's true. And it may make tomorrow morning more interesting, too.
Well, why don't you tell everybody before we get into talking about UFOs, what do you do for a living?
I am a artisan soap maker and perfumer for phonex-shaving.com, which I am co-owner of. And, yeah, we do dabble in all things traditional wet shaving, as some of you may know by now.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they do by now. I mean, they hear it every night.
Yeah, right. And I appreciate that, Gary. You're doing a great job there. But, yeah, we're trying to, create an awareness around traditional wet shaving, or just using the proper tools for the job, where we've been, pretty much sold a lie for the last 40, almost 50 years now. Which I like to call the cartridge razor conspiracy, and I don't see it too different from any other conspiracy out there. It was really, you got to follow the money to see what was really going on, and it's just about getting back to the real way, the proper way of shaving, where you're not suffering from bumps, razor burn, or ingrown hairs anymore, which didn't exist until cartridge razors or multi-blade razors came on the market. So that's that.
Yeah, and then also look how much more money you're going to save too. I mean, during the course of a month, then you add it up to, if a person quit smoking and went to your shaving system, they would have enough money to, do something like go camping for 2 weeks.
Buy a nice bike.
Yeah,
exactly.
Something.
No,
Yeah.
it's so true. It's better for your face, it's better for your wallet, and it's better for the environment. So at the end of the day, it's a no-brainer. And, for anyone who'd like to find out anything more about traditional shaving, they can contact me anytime at phonex-shaving.com, right through the contact form. We're also big on conspiracies and the paranormal there as well. You'll notice that really quick if you browse our site. Each soap, each aftershave, each product really has a story of its own. We're kind of creating a Phoenix artisan universe. So there's all these ongoing stories, So we have, it's kind of like X-Files to a certain extent, where you have the ongoing story, and then you have like other episodes happening in between, but like supplemental episodes. But that's really what we're about, to storytelling. It's about more than shaving. It's about getting the best shave of your life, but it's also about the experience we're trying to create around it, which is completely new and different than what you're used to, probably.
Well, it kind of makes it fun too, and that
it definitely does.
Your YouTube, short skits you guys do. I mean, it kind of draws you into it. I mean, they're kind of really funny. I mean, so I mean that right there tells me that you guys are really into what you're doing. So hey, now you need to do one about aliens coming down for razors.
I know. Well, actually, I worked on a label. I designed a label today for a scent that's returning. It's kind of seasonal. It's called Meta Nectar, and that has a whole alien theme going on with it. So you'll see it on the site soon, Gary.
Okay.
I think the end of this week or next week.
Now we'll get that up on our website too. Hey, I was going on the internet. I was reading a whole bunch of stuff, which I spend probably about 6 hours a day, researching what I'm going to talk about that night or the night of the show. Yeah. And I noticed that one of the satellites picked up back several months ago, like a chemtrail. It went from, all the way from, I'm trying to think, around the North Pole to Antarctica, or from Antarctica to the North Pole, in a perfectly straight line. And from all reading about it, it would be almost impossible to be like an airliner or a military jet, because for it would need to dissipate, and it wasn't dissipating, and it was wider than that. And you're talking like 13,000 miles.
13,000 miles. It was on Google Earth.
Oh yeah, that Google everything, isn't it? But it just makes you wonder, what is going on out there.
Oh yeah, no, that is definitely interesting, because you talk to anybody and they're like, "Oh, chemtrails? They're not a real thing."
Oh no!
Like, geez. I think it's great when people start, denying the existence of chemtrails. Just ask them to go back and look at their old family albums from the 80s, the 70s, days at the beach, them outdoors, and see if they see any chemtrails in the sky. And they don't. You won't. When I lived in Central America, for about 4 years, and when I was down there, I never saw them. So how is it just contrails? How did I see that up here but not down there for the time I was there? So it's interesting. Glad you brought that up.
Well, yeah, it kind of. But the interesting part, it goes from Antarctica to the pole, and it makes you wonder why is it going that direction? And it stops right at the pole. So I mean, that's kind of strange, right there on its own.
Almost like an arrow. Like an arrow pointing right to it, like, check this out.
Well, maybe some of the Nazis left over from World War II are, in their little UFOs, traveling from Antarctica to the pole, and back and forth.
It very well could be. Or it could be a ley line, some sort of energy line that's being trailed, or somebody's gravitating towards it, like almost magnetically drawn particles that are possibly being sprayed into the environment again, since there's possibly iron or metal filaments involved with that. Because some people say it's a shield from the sun, but that could be attracted magnetically to the center. I mean, there's a few different theories that I've seen or heard in the last week over this.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of interesting stuff is happening right now. I mean, it's really weird. How about the February 27th sighting in Milwaukee? The UFOs that they were dismissing as seagulls. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. I mean, how long really, when you think about it, how long can our government and a lot of other governments, keep denying that there is something out there? I mean, it's so frustrating. But, when you go like to South America, like Brazil and some of those other countries, I mean, they're always reporting UFOs. The government is, and they even announce when they even chase after them. So, I mean, it makes you wonder, do they think we're that stupid?
Yes.
Well,
they do.
Well, I guess, like Roswell, a perfect example, you had a high-ranking officer, one day say that a UFO crashed and gave all that out to the news media. And next morning he sat there saying, oh, no, we were wrong.
Yeah.
It was a weather balloon.
Exactly. Yeah. That always happens. Typically you get the real story within the first 24 hours, and then they start backtracking, which, it's either that was the real story or maybe there were mistakes made in the whole hubbub. But it's a rather curious thing every time. Anytime there's a big event like that.
Well,
and then there's the Rendlesham Forest incident, too, that in England. Remember that? Like 1980? I think it was December 1980, around there. That was considered Britain's Roswell.
Oh, yeah. And they had witnesses on that too. I mean, and
yeah. One of the guys even touched the craft.
Yeah.
In the wood.
But then they say it never happened. It makes me just really frustrated. And I had a guest on my show here maybe a week and a half ago when he was a young kid, about 9 or 10 or 13. I can't remember his age, but he was young. And he was, back south, one of the states back south. They had a report of a UFO landing in a hospital parking lot. And he said that all the townspeople knew about it because right in the middle of the night, because he went and actually looked at it. Him and his mother worked at the hospital. And, everybody came and looked at it. There was a round circle of burning asphalt. And there's hunks of, like he said, like it looked like mercury being poured on the ground. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, it didn't crash. It just landed there. Then in the middle of the night, all of a sudden, asphalt company came in there and asphalt the whole parking lot in the middle of the night. That's right after that.
Oh, they covered it up. Oh, my God. Talk about cover-up.
Well, yeah, and then I asked him, I said, well, do you know if that was a military? And he said, at the time, too, his father was a dispatcher for the police department. And, that the city didn't do it. The little town didn't do it. The police didn't call in and have somebody come in and asphalt in the middle of the night. All they knew, in the morning, people went to go look at it again, and it was already asphalted.
That is interesting. And what happened to the craft? It just took off?
Yeah, I guess it came down and landed and then took off.
Oh, that is interesting. I haven't heard that one. Everyone has these different independent, stories. I mean, from their childhood or whatnot, that, when you hear them just apart or alone, you can easily dismiss them. But now that, we're almost at full disclosure here. The government is admitting that UFOs exist now. Now you're starting to hear all these stories. I just actually saw a video a couple days ago called, what was it? UFO crashes or crash sites. Have you seen that?
No,
it's from 2017. It's relatively new, but it's just like from what I saw, it's pretty much just a silent film, but they're just showing different video clips of different UFOs flying in the sky and crashing here and there, or just like something's going on. But you just see all these different types of crafts, and some go into the water or whatnot. It's bizarre, but who knows? I don't know what it is, but it's a very interesting video if you can find it. I think it was on Amazon I saw it, or maybe Netflix. And I think it was Amazon. But yeah, it's UFO crashes, I believe.